Hey, check out my office. Got one right out there. Got one out there. My kayak. This is my office at Fishing with CP. I mean, how cool is that? All right, guys. Let me tell you something. It took me about an hour. So I did my first reaction video ever, high ren, yesterday. And it took me about an hour to figure out you guys were the most awesome, loyal, passionate group of people I've ever encountered. I mean, I think the video's gotten 4,000 views, 550 likes, 300 comments, and like the construct. So this is my first time. So I got one big, massive criticism, constructive criticism. Though everybody's super nice, and that is talk too much during the video. And if you want to talk, pause it. And what's funny about that is I was like, I think I'm gonna pause it too much, and so that's why I talked during it, because I didn't want to pause it too much. I didn't know you guys were like really looking for the reactions. You know what I mean? I mean, I did, but like you guys have seen it 500 times. I've got half of you guys have read all the comments. It's crazy. So anyway, I learned my lesson. Don't talk through the video. If you got something to say, pause it, talk less, but be you, be you, do you, and give your insights. So anyway, today I'm going to do, I'm torn, but I think I'll do the 1,000,000 subscriber video and then the trilogy. And then who knows, I might just go down the rabbit hole right here, right now. So let's go. Let's start with the reaction of the 1,000,000 subscriber.
I want to keep this short and sweet because I wrote something that I want to share with you. But first of all, I just want to say how grateful I am. I've reached 1,000,000 subscribers on YouTube, which is flipping huge milestone. I wanted to say thank you to everyone who supported my music over the years, whether you're newly on board or have been here for a while. I wanted to say thank you to the YouTube reaction community who have gotten behind my stuff in a big way and really helped me reach this goal. So thank you guys. Yeah, I wanted to read this passage that I wrote about success. Is too much for me to remember right now, so bear with me. But yeah, success to me means that I have a responsibility that transcends me. If I have a platform where people are paying attention, then I feel like it's my duty to make that count. It's far more important than my aspirations with music and what I could personally gain. There's a saying that stuck with me recently, which was a rising tide lifts all ships. Somehow, by finding success for myself has meant that I can find success for the people around me, and that makes me feel very rich. I'm in a very strange position right now where I owe much of my success to the most destructive force in my life, which has been the turbulence of my physical and mental illness. The thing that has by far brought me the most pain has been a source of constant inspiration, which ironically led to creations which brought me the most joy. Creating art which means something to somebody else and can potentially be a companion to somebody else in the dark justifies my own pain, and I desperately needed that to be justified. There are a lot of people alive today who live in the dark. It's a place that I'm very familiar with. In the peak of my health problems, I was severely underweight. All my meals had to be restricted and blended, and I was so tired that I couldn't participate in life. I couldn't socialize, I couldn't watch films, I couldn't read. My bones constantly hurt. Even standing in the shower was excruciating and exhausting. And this went on for years, with no answers. Nobody could have ever convinced me during that time that my pain and suffering would be a source for something good, because it felt insidious. Nobody could have ever convinced me that something constructive can come from hurting every day. But I'm here to tell you that if you are hurting every day, don't be afraid. One thing I know to be certain, to be a constant law of the universe, is that life is inconsistent. Life is beautiful and life is hideous. Life is kind and life is cruel. Dancing inside this dichotomy and inconsistency makes me know that you won't hurt forever. Whether that comes from resolution of what you're going through or acceptance of where you are, you won't hurt forever. You don't know yet whether or not your pain conceals gold. It definitely conceals wisdom, and it's definitely a catalyst for filling you with empathy. So stand strong, my friends, and don't let the darkness consume you, because once you know the dark and become intimate with it, you become very capable of wielding the light. You could be instrumental for changing this world for the better. There's nothing humble about shrinking or doubting yourself because you are large. You can be ferocious and you could be magnificent. For the medical industry, who too often let people fall through the cracks, it's your duty to do better. For the people living in the light, who have either stepped out of their shadow or have never had to walk beside it, it's your responsibility to put out untainted love. Our own greed, desire to ferociously expand, and decisions rooted in self-interest can benefit ourselves in a material sense, but can be very destructive to the hive and the world around us, ultimately hurting ourselves. So we really must consider that if we're going to step into a bright future. As humans, we have an incredible potential, and it would be a shame to throw it away. So community, humanity, and changing our relationship with the natural world so it leans more towards homeostasis must be a priority number one. If you're watching this and there's a knot tied up in your stomach with bitterness, anger, or hatred for your fellow human being, be with it, feel it, understand it, express it, and then let it go. You're hurting. Give yourself love, forgive yourself, and then project that love outwards and the anger will pass. We have a decision in every interaction to tilt the world towards heaven or hell, towards Jannah or Jahannam, utopia or dystopia, and some people's ideas of heaven will be another's image of hell. So tread carefully, but treat those differences with respect. Tapestries are made beautiful because of the variety and the sum of their parts. Thank you to 1 million people inside this rich tapestry for the opportunity for me to try and spread my own vision of what I believe to be good. And thank you for justifying my pain. Thank you. I love you.
Love you too, buddy. So if you watch my high rent video, you know, the wife has lupus, and not only that, something I didn't mention, and she was diagnosed Mayo Clinic in 2003. So a lot of that stuff rings true, that taking the shower and being, you know, like there's this real interesting book called 60 Spoons, and you know, it's for lupus, and if you have lupus, you start with 60 spoons. Well, you take a shower, you just lost 10. You go sit in a booth when you're going out to eat, you lose another 10. So the stuff I would take for granted as a healthy person, like the simple stuff, you know, like it's different for her. And not only that, my kids have, so Lyme disease, all these autoimmune diseases are real hard to figure out because a lot of them are very similar. And so anyway, my daughter has an autoimmune, and my son has rheumatoid arthritis, you know. And so it's just like, you think about things like unfair, it's bullshit. You know, they don't deserve that. My wife doesn't deserve that. She was a doctor, I had to sell her practice because she couldn't go to work anymore. Physically, like can't go to work anymore. And so that wears on you mentally, you know. And so she's got to have, like, she's tough as nails. Like, I know when she's hurting, I know when she's exhausted, and she doesn't let it on, but I know. But she, you know, if you talk to her, she's fine. And so, and let me get off that subject for something else. You know, I did this video yesterday on high rent, and obviously it's shocking, it's unbelievable, you know, and like you, and I said it in my intro, but I'll say it again, you Renegades, like, are awesome. Like, all the comments and even the constructive criticism I got, like, it was fine. It was basically that I talked too much over the high rent video, which I understand. I did. Now, when I go back and watch it and now know what you guys as Renegades are looking for. So, anyway, but I didn't know, you know. So, boy, I mean, 1 million subscribers that guy has. 1 million. And deserves every one of them. So anyway, hey Ren, if you ever watch this, if you ever come back to States, I'll either be in Havasu, Lake Havasu City, Arizona, New Mexico, or Missouri. I'll take you fishing, brother. There's nothing like therapy. Being on the water at first light, the ducks, the birds, the noises, the smells, the peace and serenity. Talk about healing. I'll take you out. Love you guys. I'll post this. I'm gonna do the trilogy right now, and I mean that video was just. I hate that guy has to deal with it. I fucking hate it. All right, you guys, be a good person, make somebody else's day, and go smile.
Let's fish.
All right, got that trolling. Nice one.